There once was a teenage girl who absolutely loved school. She was a part of the basketball team, she was class president, she was class princess twice, and she was even captain of her cheerleading team. Although her future looked really bright, something drastically happened to her that would impact her future forever. In the year of 2000, the pharmaceutical industry were dispensing out pain medication blindly like candy. This affected athletes, especially in the middle class neighborhoods. Her junior year, going to her senior year, she got in a horrible car accident on her pain medication, prescribed. Her image which landed her on probation. Her senior year would now be getting random drug tests, have a probation officer, and none of her friends wanted to hang out with her anymore. All of her friends' parents told them that she was now bad news, and she truly believed this new image and this new reputation. So instead of pursuing higher education, she would have multiple run-ins with the law, she would become a young mother, and she had multiple run-ins with the law, she'd become a young mother, and she attempted rehab for 14 years. After 14 years of battling such a horrible pain medication addiction, she finally beat it. Not only did she beat it, but she was ready to go back to college. But who could possibly support a student with this much trauma, this much PTSD? Who could possibly support? What kind of resources on campus would help a student like this? So according to the California Department of Education, the Obama-Biden administration landed a Pell Grant experiment in the year 2015, which allowed incarcerated individuals to access post-secondary higher education courses. This means that those same individuals that are incarcerated getting college courses are going to be released and be your classmates, whether you accept that fact or not. Now, I know that there's a stigmatization and stereotype that surrounds this population as being dangerous and being criminals, but I'm here to tell you, with the proper support and the resources, these students can truly thrive with your help and your support. The Underground Scholars Initiative is a program on college campuses that's specifically designed to help formerly incarcerated and system-impacted students succeed.
Right. Cassandra has briefly explained why the underground scholarship is needed for here. Now let's dive into the detail why we are needed for here all for you. Incarcerated students who lost their opportunity to education due to the weakness of the system. It leads economic and social problems to our society. Students who lose their opportunity need to be cared by us as a society member here on campus. The weakness in the system leads to education deficiency. Education deficiency impacts on their academic achievement, employment, and weight. Bruce Weston, a professor of sociology and social justice at Columbia University, as you can see, he shows that since 1980, the number of incarcerated imprisonments has significantly increased. It's 5 to 10 times higher than other democratic countries. Also, when you look at the graph of the education levels of imprisonment, we can see the relationship between education and imprisonment. The articles, incarcerations and regiment of labor markets investigates how the durations of incarcerations affect on their wage and employment. The article reads, incarcerations have negatively effect on wage for all inmates, and the effect was largest on the oldest offenders. Incarcerations negatively affect on their wage and employment. spending their lives in jails negatively affects on the employment and wage. They need a professional support to live a fulfilling life on their second chance. Education deficiency causes a higher rate imprisonment, which leads the government to spend a massive amount of money to maintain the system. The articles, Americans spend much more prisoners than students by Joel Augustine. He says for last 40 years, the populations of American prisoners has skyrocketed by 500%. The costing states federal government spends $182 billion per year. Also, California is spending $64,000 for a prisoner a year. Compared to the money, $11,000 for a student, the money is so massive. The article, another report on countyoffice.org, Santa Barbara County has total 8 jails and prisons, serving 443,000 people. Can you imagine how much money we have spent for this system? To relieve this magnitude, we need to enhance the education support system through our organization to bring positive change on our economic states and as well as an individual life.
Our underground schools create a pathway for incarcerated people and system impacted individuals into higher education. We building up a prison to university pipeline throughout recruitment, retention, and advocacy. We provide academic advising and UC application support for our incarcerated students. We train and hire our incarcerated students through our ambassador program. We provide the student. Our student retention program provides space for incarcerated students to study, meet, and tutoring, peer monitoring, and financial and academic aid advising, student employment, student development, leadership development, and advocacy. We partner with many campuses to ensure our student retention. We work closely with underground initiative to create programming and events for our members and students. With advocacy students, formerly incarcerated students, and helping currently incarcerated students and their families. In addition to individuals enrolling, incarcerated students at campus, on parole and on probation, we engage in state, local, and national advocacy to remove the barrier to create opportunity for our incarcerated students. We train our incarcerated students to be policy advocates at our year-long policy institution. Now you have a clue about what the mission has done to the population. Let's reveal how effective it is.
Now that we have explained a little bit about what our program is, let's look into how it can impact our future. Imagine how many more students could have the opportunity to accomplish their goals and dreams through the Underground Scholar Program. Once students have access to the education and support that they need to succeed, they will not recidivate. Recidivism is to relapse into past behaviors and ultimately end up back in jail. The recidivism rate for California is 50%. This means that half of the people who get out of jail, who are left with limited opportunities and limited support, are forced back into the system, trapped in this endless cycle. But according to the UC Berkeley Impact Report, the recidivism rate for underground scholars is 0%. This shows that if we make this program more available to others, the overall recidivism rate can drop dramatically altogether. Not only that, but the average GPA for an underground scholar student is a 3.5. This shows us that everyone, when given the resources to succeed, will succeed in these college course classes. These students are among the highest achieving in the UC system. And when given that college education, this opens up job opportunities, allowing them a chance at a brighter future. And everyone deserves a brighter future. California is number 2 in the country for highest recidivism rates. When you break that down by county, Santa Barbara is within the top 15 for highest recidivism rates. That is why we opened up a program here in 2020.
Okay, today we went over what underground scholars are all about and why we need your help. We focused on retention, recruitment, and advocacy within our organization. And currently we're helping many students all over campus. We could be doing so much more with your support. As I mentioned earlier, you have the opportunity to help us lower the recidivism rate in Santa Barbara. And you never know who this could affect. It could be your mom, dad, sister, brother, or even a fellow classmate.
And in case you guys already didn't figure it out, that classmate was me. But with a program like the Underground Scholars Initiative, I was able to return back to college despite my age. And I went from thinking I couldn't go back to school to now having the school ask me to be 2022's commencement speaker.
And this is why we need you guys to donate now, so we can expand and support these students with the proper tools they need to succeed in a higher education. And if you're still not interested in donating, we're passing out a volunteer sheet right now, so you can sign your name and see firsthand how our organization works. There are many different volunteer options, including helping guide campus tours, shadowing a bus ambassador, setting up our next event, and tutoring. So that way we have actually a description on the paper that describes each of them, so you can choose whatever one speaks to you. And while you're looking at that, I'm gonna be going over our website. So if you type in Gaucho Underground, this is gonna be the Santa Barbara Underground Scholar website, and you scroll all the way down, you're gonna see something that looks like this. And this is actually the students that are a part of this program. These are their own stories, and there's a lot that you can look through, and I think it's important to read through them so you know exactly the type of people that we're trying to help. And then not only that, if you scroll all the way to the top, we circled it right here in orange, it's gonna say our mission. If you click that tab, then it's gonna give you in detail our mission and what we're trying to achieve. But our main goal here is we want to provide better opportunities for the formerly incarcerated and system impacted students. Because
education is for all!
Woo!